This is Rio Ferdinand for Sports World. Listen, as long as it takes you to get there, to the top of the mountain, the hardest part is staying there. I'm absolutely consumed by football, but I was also kind of intrigued as to what else can I do now. I'm always so excited and infused by different ideas or different opportunities. There's a life after football. Enjoy it, because it don't last long, nothing lasts long. Yeah, listen, I think the magazine is, obviously you can tell, a luxury in terms of the product, which I like, which is always a draw. I think, especially in a change room, when you're sitting there, you get a lot of shit in front of you, but this is you go, oh, okay, a bit different, let me have a look at this, and then you see the brands that you guys work with. So that speaks for itself, but also the interviews, I think that there's a lot of depth in interviews. I don't think that most publications get as much time as you probably get with the players, which I think is a definite separator as well. And obviously you bring a few brands to the table that a lot of the guys enjoy and like. So I think there's a good combination there that kind of, you need a bit of a different point of reference, and probably that's where you guys sit in that sweet spot. Thank you first and foremost for having me on. I've seen a few of the magazines around some esteemed characters, but also players of the game. Probably when I was about 24, 25, I started thinking about it, but I've always been kind of a curious, inquisitive kind of mind. I've always kind of thought that I didn't want to be pigeonholed and put in a box. Bearing in mind I'd done ballet as a kid, so that probably tells you that. And it's the same, I played football, I was absolutely consumed by football, but I was also kind of intrigued as to what else can I do now. Now I've got leverage of football and the ability to kind of open more doors. Where could that take me? So I was always looking to push doors. If there was a door ajar anywhere, what's behind there? Can I see what's behind there? Have I got any impact that can be made behind that door? So that was definitely something that I was always interested in. And I'd probably say starting my digital magazine, before a digital magazine was a thing, around lifestyle, around football, fashion, music, was probably the main thing where I thought, let me just dip my toes into this and have a look. And yeah, we won some awards, and then now it's evolved into where we are today as a YouTube podcast. I think having Sir Alex Ferguson as the manager makes it kind of, not difficult, but you've got to kind of tread carefully when you're looking at what's next for your career while playing. He's absolutely consumed by the game, wants your desire, full commitment around football, and all your energy to go into that. And rightly so, they pay you big bucks, they pay the big fees for you, so rightly so, they should have your full attention. But at the same time, I was always of the mind, I need a little bit of a release. So the release is what can I do next? And I actually just was direct with him, the manager and Mr. David Gill, who was the CEO at the time, and just said this is what, I've got a restaurant opening in Manchester, and the manager flipped. He weren't happy. He was like, what the hell are you doing? You're going to be doing dishes, serving drinks and stuff like that? And I was like, no man, I'm investing. There'll be a team put in place to do that, and hopefully you guys will be coming and having Christmas parties or celebration parties at the restaurant at some point. And I was true to my word. We had celebration dinners there, we had parties there after winning a league or winning cups, so it became a real place where just not United players came to, but also City players, Liverpool, Everton, different players from different clubs come and hung out. So I think we had it for about 15 years. We just closed it recently. Good things do come to an end at some time, but we had a great time while we were doing it. When I look at industries to invest in, there's different things I look at. I was lucky to meet a guy called Saul Klein, who's a serial, massive tech investor. I met him at a web summit in Dublin, where I was doing a talk about social media, funnily enough. He invited me to come in. He has a dragon's den in his office once a week or once every 2 weeks. And he said, just come down and sit in the corner. And if I need you to speak or whatever, you can just come and take it in. And I was like, right, yeah, this is unbelievable. I want to see this. Every week I was going, you've got to invest in that. Oh my God, what an idea. That was unbelievable. He was like, just chill, man, just chill. But that's how I am. I'm quite impulsive naturally. But he taught me to really look at why you're investing and what you're investing in, who you're investing in. And I think he said one of the best bits of advice I had is The idea could sound great and look great, and you could go, wow, this is the one. But unless you've got the right person or people in charge and running that as your founders, doesn't matter what the idea is. So invest in the right people first. And that was a real big thing for me. And I think I still get it wrong here and there because, again, you can't sometimes take down that initial excitement when you hear or see something. But in the main, I've been kind of focused on making sure it's people. I've got a business that I part own now, Football Escapes. I invested in it because there was one guy I knew was going to run it who I could trust, who I believed in, who was hungry enough, who had a desire to do it, Sam. He still runs it now, the CEO of the company now. So, and I could go through a few different, Jamie, who runs New Era, been doing it for over a decade now. I trust him, I believe in him. I know he works as hard, if not harder than anybody. These are the types of people, good, solid people, you go, I can believe that this guy will take the business, if I'm even not here for a long time, I'll come back to it and I think it'll be further ahead than what it is. If I'd stuck to that, more of my investments will be doing much better, I'd say. But I don't mind the up and down, as long as the ups give me big ups, which is where we're at the moment. Networking or building connections or being a good people person is massive in any walk of life. Like whether it's just your friendship groups, whether it's family, whether it's business. And I think, and football's no different. I like to think that in a change room, I was one of the guys who's a bit of a connector, a bit of a bringing people together and bringing a squad together. I think that was one of a good trait that I had within the change room. The content business that I'm involved in, whether it be making documentaries, whether it be making films, whether it be running a podcast YouTube channel, which we're doing now with the Rio Meets, Rio Presents type thing. I'm leaning on a lot of context, a lot of relationships that have been built over 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30 years, and still being able to utilise those contacts means, as I said, that you've had to kind of cultivate good contacts and cultivate good relationships and good practices over them years. So I think it's huge, and I think players maybe that when they played were maybe a little bit ignorant to the fact that there's a life after football. That's not like any slight on anybody, that's just the way that they were able to be the best player they could be, but they weren't maybe thinking about later on and couldn't think about later on, but they haven't done that, and they maybe find it more difficult to have conversations with people in the industry now because they weren't as open and as willing to have to be touchable, likeable, etc. There's a fine balance, it's hard to find that. I'm just lucky that I've been able to do that. I think navigating that path into retirement is a difficult thing, especially if you don't forward think and plan. Then it becomes a fearful process, a fearful route, because you're worried. The uncertainty, the not knowing brings that hysteria and that's fear, I think. I was very much preparing from probably 26 years old, probably, in terms of looking at exploring other business avenues. So I always said to myself from about 26, 27, listen, I want to have some, maybe 4 or 5 different avenues I can go to once I retire, whether it be in football, whether it be media, whether it be my foundation, or other businesses, my content business, etc. And fortunately, once I retired, all of those avenues were there, set, ready to go. Whether it be the agency here that we're in now, that's still going, the 5 channel that's now Rio Presents, it's like, these things were there, but they weren't just like by chance. It's like I was ready, the ball was rolling. So it is difficult, but I think you've just got to think about it. But the biggest thing I would do is don't start that process too early. I see a lot of young players now thinking about, and families who are helping them control their careers. Oh, let's think about a foundation, and let's think about a clothing brand, and let's think about creating this. And I'm thinking, bro, you don't even know how to prepare for a game properly yet. Like, you're still working on your routine for the week to get the best out of yourself. Focus on that. When that is down to a T and you're comfortable and you're doing that well, and we've seen a sustained period of time doing that, then start opening your books as to what else you might be interested in doing. But until then, I just think it's a crime almost, because you've worked probably 10, 15 years to get to the point of making it, and now and that's been your whole focus. You get to the top of the mountain and now you're starting to look around at other things and lose focus on what got you there. Because listen, as long as it takes you to get there, to the top of the mountain, the hardest part is staying there. So why are you then going to take your focus away if you still don't know how to stay there? Work out how to stay there and then start looking around at other stuff would be my best bit of advice for any young player. Yeah, so the podcast YouTube channel has been rebranded. I'm so excited this season for it because it's really kind of definitive as what it is. There's 3 strands: Rio Presents, Rio Meets and Rio Reacts. And all are various in different ways. Reacts obviously reacting to different situations, transfers, etc., and all the big stories that are going on. And that can be done on the road or in the studio. And Rio Presents is a bit similar to the Vibe with 5 show, but we're in the studio reacting every weekend to the results and just chewing the fat, which is an exciting, funny show. And I have loads of different friends from the past on there who are coaching now, still in the game, CEOs, and some current players that are just still playing but just going to phone in or just come into the show. So that'll be exciting. Loads of new faces. And Rio Meets, which is like, that's my baby, I've got to be honest with you. Rio Meets is like Ronaldo, which everyone's been waiting for, and I thought, let me just wait for a special moment before we get him. How can we start the season, new brand, biggest man on the planet, fastest growing YouTube channel, crazy what he's done as a footballer, but also now as a YouTuber, crazy. Got Bex, there's others I can't name yet, but some big current players that are playing right now. My dream guest, yeah, I've got to be honest, would have been Maradona. Could you imagine the stories that this guy would have told me? Like, this guy, he shut down Man United's training one day, turned up at the training ground. Tevez was there, so Tevez brought him. Tevez knew how much this man meant to me. He was my idol as a kid. Like, my whole estate was Diego Maradona, that's it. And he turned up at the training ground, shuffling onto the pitch. Whoa, stop. Diego's here. Training's got to stop. Went over, shaking his hand. Like, he come a few times, he come in Dubai as well with us, same thing happened. But yeah, he would be my guy because for good and bad reasons. Like, what the hell happened? What was going on in your life when you got banned and people were talking about all the mad stuff that's going on in your life? You shot a paparazzi guy with a pellet gun or something outside his house in Italy one time. Like, he's done mad stuff fighting on the pitch, like, but also winning the World Cup, being the greatest player who currently was walking the planet in most people's eyes. Like, just like how did you get to that? Yeah, he would be up there, man. Michael Jordan. Jude Bellingham now as well. Jude Bellingham is an interesting kid, you know. So he's another one, probably.
Amazing.
No, Mbappe, so I can go on forever. Mbappe would be bad. Because you know why I'd like Mbappe? Because I never even knew he spoke English. And when I met him, I was doing a bit of filming with him, with Pochettino when he was manager of PSG. He came down to the interview and started chatting. I went, oh, bro, you speak English like this? What's going on? Like, super mad intelligent. I think he speaks about 3 or 4 languages, like, it's crazy. Watch this space, don't go missing, man, tell a friend. Well, the foundation was something that come to my mum, if I'm honest. My mum was like a real community-driven person on my estate where I grew up. So if there's any problems or families or mums especially had issues, she was one of the ones that would sense it, go to their house and that kind of help, what can I do? And so when I become a footballer and you understand you have leverage and you've got the ability to pull people together for a good cause, it was like a no-brainer for me to start. So my mum was definitely the inspiration behind that, and she was on the board of that as well. The main thing for me was to go to disadvantaged background kids from areas like Peckham where I grew up, whether it be in London or further afield, like working loads of communities up and down the country and further afield than that outside the country. Initially it was about giving young kids the education and the kids that have kind of been thrown to the curb, bringing them back in, re-engaging them and giving them education and building them ready to go into employment. And we quickly realised we could get them in the door, but we couldn't keep them because we didn't have the next piece, which was the opportunity to get a job. So using my commercial deals with BT at the time, or Aston Martin and other companies, and then now we've got Ralph Lauren, Warner Brother Music, among other companies that we use, even New Era here, my football agency. We have got the opportunity of a job, and I think the key word is an opportunity. We're not giving no one a job. No one gets nothing for free. You've got to come in, work, get your accreditation through education, be re-engaged, build them up with the confidence and self-esteem again to then go into work into the music, fashion, football industry. And it's not about being the footballer or being the role model or the catwalk model. There's loads of different jobs that go around that we kind of expose these young people to and then plug them into them opportunities. Imagine I used to walk down certain roads and couldn't get into shops like Rio Ferdinand. I'd get turned away by security. So like for me to now have my foundation, walking in, young kids, like I was as a kid, going in there to work, or to have like the training skills to go and get a job in there is like mind-blowing for me. So we're on that journey now with them, and it's like such a satisfying, rewarding kind of, it's a wonderful thing, one of the most rewarding things that I do. We've had like, it's been going 11 years now, we've had 10,000 kids go through. I think inspiring and helping young children change their lives is something that's just ingrained in me. I think it's, as I said, I saw my mum be a part of a real community-driven person, and I just think like what you see is what you become sometimes, and I'm definitely a working part of that. I had a young girl come up to me when I went and done a thing with one of our other partners, We Are 8, a social media platform. She was one of the people helping out on the day as a volunteer, just getting the skills in terms of events and event management and stuff like that. The girl just broke down crying about the opportunity and what she's been exposed to now compared to when she first walked into the foundation stores, where it was so negative and everything was so kind of at a place where she thought, where am I going to go from here? Whereas now she's got an idea, a vision, a pathway to hopefully becoming like sustainable on her own. And that's all with the help of the foundation. So to hear them type of stories and the emotion that comes with that, like, and that's one girl. There's loads of those stories. So it is, and I'm actually telling the foundation, like, we're a bit like British companies. We don't shout about what we do enough. I think we need to start shouting about it more. And like for a foundation of an individual to be going for 10 years and impacting so many lives, we don't shout about it enough.
Recognise it?
Yeah. Comb my hair, definitely, will be one of them. I'll put some stuff in it. I don't know, man. I just think enjoy it, because it don't last long. Nothing lasts long. Like, I've been doing punditry for 10 years this year now, and it feels like I started 2 years ago. Football career's gone, but I still remember doing my boots up and putting my pads on for my district team or local team. So it all goes quick. Just really enjoy the moment, and it's difficult because enjoying the moment, like, if I'd enjoyed the moment more as a professional footballer, enjoyed the good times, would I have been able to keep winning because my focus might have been a bit short long term? Like, they're the things that I'll wrestle with a little bit with myself, but yeah, definitely enjoy the moments a bit more. Managing my time is a big talking point in my house at the dinner table with my kids and my missus. I'm not good at it. I've got a great team around me, including my wife, who try and make it as seamless as possible, but I ain't got it down to perfection yet. This year I'm trying to do that, so I'm always so like excited and infused by different ideas or different opportunities that I just go, yeah, I'm in. And then I'll think about logistics and working it out with my family after, which is the wrong way. I need to kind of go back. I've got to start a process where I like it, log it. Babe, what do you think? Like, time-wise, can we do this? Family-wise, can we get cover? Are we going to be all right? What's your work looking like? And then, yeah, okay, that's cool. Go back to the team, right, like, negotiate, let's go. I don't do that enough. I just say, yeah, man, I'm in. Yeah, do you know what? Is to focus and really double down on the businesses that I'm invested in and have equity in, and make them great. That's what I'm going to be focused on. I've got a handful of businesses that are really that need me more and need more of my time, and are going at a good pace by themselves without as much focus from me. But I think with my added focus and attention to detail and availability, they could go here quicker. So that's the aim in the 10th year of retirement. Let's go.